Hey guys, Stephen here with yet another DIY musician guide. In this one, I'm going to talk about just how useful Bandcamp Pro features are and whether or not the whole subscription service can be improved. And most importantly, is it worth the money? Bandcamp Pro is a subscription service offered by Bandcamp, which allows you access to some exclusive features. Although it says there are 7 features, there are actually 8. At the time of making this, Bandcamp Pro costs $10, which is just under £8 in English money. You can cancel any time, so if you are intrigued after watching this video, you could try it for a month and then cancel and see what all the fuss is about. Anyway, let's go over all of the features and discuss the benefits, if any, they have for us musicians. But before that, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. So starting with batch upload, let's just read out the description first and look at it. So batch upload, queue up an entire album's worth of material and go make a sandwich. Take a nap, practice, floss, sunbathe or twirl your stash. Before you know it, your album will be uploaded, transcoded and ready to unleash upon the internet. So with this batch upload feature, basically it's going to be good for those of us who've got lots of tracks to upload at the same time. Maybe you've got an album of say 12 tracks and you just want to put them all together, because normally you can only upload one track at a time and wait for that to finish and then you can upload the next one. So you're saving some time. But if you're like me and you tend to put out like EPs, short releases and singles, it's not really of much benefit. Okay, number 2, targeted messaging. So let's read the Bandcamp description. Use the Bandcamp app for artists and labels to communicate directly with your fans and target messages by fan location and amount spent. Talk to just the fans in the next city on your tour. Give special thanks to your biggest supporters or send a discount code to your followers who haven't bought anything yet. So as you know, if you've been watching this channel, I'm a big advocate of the Bandcamp artist app. Did make a video about why you should be using it, which I'll link to below. So I like this feature quite a bit. It's really helpful if, as he said, if you're going on tour and you want to target a certain location or reward people who've spent a lot of money on your store, or even entice new people to come into your music by giving them a discount code. The thing is though, you could actually do this without this feature. All of these things, you could export your mailing list from Bandcamp into MailChimp and you'll see all of those options within there, so you can actually target by location and people who've bought items from you, that kind of thing. So I suppose with this way through the app, which I do like, it's a hell of a lot more convenient, but you can do it without it. Okay, number 3, private streaming. Give the press and your mom exclusive streaming access to your private tracks and albums. Just enter the recipient's email addresses, hit send, and you're done. There's no annoying listener registration process, no passwords to forget, and you can even monitor who's listened and who's blowing you off. Didn't mean to say blowing you off to camera, that sounded weird. So yeah, I do like the fact that you can send out a private link to music blogs, friends and family, even band members to check out before you set this release live. Also, it's great that you can monitor who's listened or not. I mean, that's great. I can fight with band members to say, hey, you didn't listen to the music before it's going live, you should do. But to be honest though, I would rather give them a download code, because it's then their prerogative to do what they want. They can download it or whatever, and if they have a Bandcamp fan account, there's a possibility that they'll get a Bandcamp fan square underneath your release, which actually just helps your release a little bit more. Okay, ad-free hosting. Present your videos side by side with your music and merchandise with nary a lick of integrity destroying advertising insight. That was tough for me to say. All in gorgeous quality, of course. Optimized for low bandwidth mobile delivery right up to full screen HD. So I've just loaded up a little example of this, and as you can see, the video appears above the release title and takes up the full width of the release page. So if you've got a great video, this is a fantastic place to showcase it. Otherwise, for me, it might be just something that gets in the way of the music. I'm in two minds of it really. I like it, it looks nice, but to be honest, I'd really like the idea of being able to use maybe a YouTube embed or a Vimeo embed, just have more control. Okay, number 5, your domain. while your whytofollow.bandcamp.com address, which obviously relates to my page, undeniably portrays you as a brilliant forward thinker, replacing your Bandcamp URL with music.whytofollow.com or even just whytofollow.com will not only increase the professionalism of your site, it will also improve your search engine ranking. I mean, this is definitely a feature I would like because, to be honest, I would, if I did pay for the Bandcamp Pro, I would use this feature straight away because I would like to tie my Bandcamp page to a subdomain. music.whytofollow.co.uk would make sense for me. This feature was actually free when Bandcamp launched. My first band, Minion TV, page, that page had this feature and still has this feature, and there must have been a cut-off period before they went, oh, we should bung that in Bandcamp Pro to make that look a little bit more enticing. Okay, 6, deeper stats. Where do your buyers come from and how are they finding you? Pro tells you the location of your paying fans down to the city and lets you see the source of each sale, e.g. Twitter, Google, or a particular blog post, so you can hone your promotional efforts. Now, I'm sure this just relates to the next feature, which is Google Analytics, but it does put all of your data on a nice handy map, which is quite nice, and therefore you get a quick overview of how well or how not well you're doing. I find this feature only really useful to people who are selling quite a lot of music on Bandcamp. Otherwise, you haven't really got a lot of data to play with, because if you were only selling a handful of records or whatever, I don't think you're going to plan a world tour or anything with that. So it's only going to really appeal to people who are bringing or selling a lot of merch and music on Bandcamp. Okay, number 7, the biggie, Google Analytics. Bandcamp's up to the instant stats system reveals who's linking to you, where your music is embedded, which tracks are most and least popular, and what's being downloaded and when. But for the true stats junkie, Pro lets you integrate with Google Analytics for full tilt information overload bliss. Now, I've mentioned Google Analytics in the past and how important it is because you can basically track anything in there. So this is an essential feature, really. I'd really wish this was free. It feels like it should be free. We can track things like what devices people are using, you know, what kind of phones, tablets, computers people are using, what browsers they're using, like Safari, Chrome, all that stuff, and what gender, how long they are on the page for, and all that stuff will help. Why isn't this free? Okay, moving on. 8, optional streaming. For most bands, the best sales strategy is to let fans hear more of the music, not less. For more established artists or those who simply think we are nuts, Pro lets you disable streaming on select tracks, but still lets them show up in an album's track list and included when it's purchased. So with optional streaming, you can basically turn off the ability to play some of your tracks. Now, I'm not really a fan of this feature at all. It doesn't really feel like it falls under Bandcamp's ethos, really, and you can tell because it's feature 8 of 7, so it feels like they just threw on there. Maybe they had some pressure from some more established or legacy artists who were kind of afraid that if people were going to just be able to stream all of the tracks ad hoc on the internet, that they wouldn't actually dish out any money for them. Okay, that's all of the features, but it's worth noting that there is this label account subscription as well. If you subscribe to Bandcamp as a label, every artist you add to your label automatically gets the Pro account upgrade. It's $20 per month, or that works out about £15 a month for 15 artists, or it's $50 a month, about £38 a month for unlimited artists. I'll most likely cover the benefits of a Bandcamp label account in a future post, but just keep that in mind if you're thinking of upgrading. So given that we've got these extra features within this subscription, can we come up with anything else that would make this subscription a little bit more alluring to us? Well, I did go over 7 features that I'd love to see in Bandcamp in a previous video, which I'll link to below, but how about a few more? Okay, number 1, advanced customization. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that Bandcamp is kind of uniform across the board. Everything, like, you know where everything is, basically. It's not, like, it didn't turn into MySpace and everyone was giving editing tools and it's just monstrosity after each page. You know your way around the Bandcamp page because it's quite minimal, everything's quite uniform. But I would like a little bit more customization. Maybe allow us to edit the banner in place and let us place some kind of social buttons around it or something like that. Something, you know, because we have to use image maps to place links within the banner. Maybe an easier, more convenient way of doing that, because some people do change their banners out quite frequently to promote their latest release. Okay, number 2, how about an advanced homepage template? Currently we can only choose between 3, which are a discography grid, a merch grid, and our latest release. Now, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be great if we could have a template which we could add a bit of text to? Because as we accumulate more releases on our pages, it might be interesting for us to have a bit or a little blog bit saying, you know, where to start with our releases, something like that. Maybe to put some reviews in, I don't know, but I just feel like we could probably do more with those templates. Maybe just add a bit of text block to the discography template. That kind of makes sense to me. Okay, finally, fan listening habits. Now, I don't want to point out Spotify or do a Spotify versus Bandcamp thing here, but the Spotify for Artists tool is really kind of cool. I didn't mean that to rhyme, sorry. I like the fact that you can drill down and try and understand your fans better by seeing what kind of other music they're listening to, and I think that'd be really helpful within our stats on Bandcamp to see, you know, people who were listening to our music or buying our music, what other music do they listen to? Surely that data is in there, and if we had that, it's obviously a good thing to help us to market towards the fans of those people, but also we could reach out to those other bands and maybe do some kind of collaboration and reach out to new audiences. So let's conclude this. So I posed the question at the start, is it worth it? Now, if you are selling a lot of music on Bandcamp, then you're collecting a lot of data. Data you could potentially use to go even another step further. So I'd say at that point, if you're one of those people, definitely, because you need Google Analytics, you're going to find the deeper stats thing a lot more helpful. But for me, it's not really worth it. There's too little data to do anything with. So I would rather wait until there are other features that would entice me to jump on that train. Either that or just sell more music. Anyway, I'll end that there. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. Are you subscribed to Pro? How is that going? Or have you looked at it and thought, I don't know, should I? As always, if you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time on a DIY musician guide. I'm going to go under the table. Now, instead of going left or right, it just sounds weird. I can just go and hide, and then I can fade to black. Fade to black.